Chinese food place.
And you got a phone call.
Cheguei, vai descer o seu andando aqui, não pedido. Né? Aí papo vai, papo vem, eu falei, pô, minha filha, eu falei, vai descer com isso, velho.
Yeah, just on the road. Just on the road.
I got some really cool service.
Oh, don't give up his No, this
Too fast for the gimbal.
Oh, very good way. Yeah, nice to see you again. Yeah.
I hope I gave you an idea. I think we closed it down.